Get ready. Everything you thought was normal is about to change, and it's going to hit you out of nowhere. No one saw this coming. Not psychics with their crystal balls, not gurus with their chants. Not a single soul on this planet had it pegged. This doorway, this wild shift, wasn't even a whisper on anyone's radar until it slammed open. It's March 24th, 2025, and something massive has clicked into place, like a lock turning after years of being stuck. You might not feel the full weight of it yet, but trust me, it's already brushing against you, stirring things up inside. If you don't spot the 639 hiding in today's date, don't worry. I'll break it down step by step soon enough. First, though, you've got to wrap your head around this. It's not just some tiny ripple in the air. Something totally new, something never tapped before, is kicking off right this second, and it's rewriting the rules as we go. Some folks will sleepwalk right through it. Not a clue what's up. But if you're one of the ones who feel it, life's about to get weird. And there's a huge reason your dreams tonight might not just be random brain movies. They could be straight-up glimpses of what's coming down the road. Most people won't catch on until the train's already left the station, so don't check out now. Stick with me. I'll lay it all out soon, piece by piece, and you'll want to be here for it. You don't want to miss this, not when it's this big. Let's dive into the numbers, because once you see them, they'll burn into your brain, and you'll never shake them loose. Right now, today's date is buzzing with a secret rhythm. A force so strong some call it the key to unlocking whole new worlds you didn't know existed. It's tied tight to that famous 369 vibe you might have heard about, but this is its own beast. Check it out. The day is 24, so 2 plus 4 adds up to 6. Simple as that. Then there's March, the third month, sitting pretty in the lineup. And the year, 2025, breaks down to 2 plus 0 plus 2 plus 5, which lands at 9. Put it together, 6, 3, 9. That's no fluke, no random toss of the dice. It's a 639 code staring you in the face. This isn't just fun with math. It's a signal, a pulse tied to big change, waking up deep inside, and emotions flipping like a storm rolling in. It's like a hidden switch got flipped, and the universe is lighting up because of it. The wildest part? This doorway is wide open today, right here, right now. But it's not sticking around for long. It's got an expiration date. What happens if you step through it and grab what's on the other side? What if you shrug and let it pass you by? Keep reading. I've got more to unpack, and it might just turn everything you know upside down. This is only the start of what's coming. This hits you in 3 waves, crashing in one after the other. Mind, body, soul. And it's not just some fluffy idea. It's happening to you as you sit there. It's real. It's now. And you're in the thick of it whether you're ready or not. First, your head catches fire. Not literally, but close. Thoughts start racing like cars on a track. Big, wild ideas. Moments of sharp focus. Maybe a stretch where you're overthinking every little thing. 1 second you're tearing apart everything you believe. The next you're seeing angles and truths you never noticed before, like a light bulb flicking on. That's not your brain going haywire. It's the energy doing its thing, shaking you awake. Then your body jumps in wave 2. You might feel a little woozy, like the room's tilting, or catch a tingle zipping up your spine. A buzz that makes you feel half here, half somewhere else. Don't freak out and think you're losing it. It's not a breakdown. It's a tune-up. Your system adjusting to the new juice flowing through. Finally, wave 3 slams your soul wide open. You just know something's shifting, even if you can't slap a label on it. Call it a gut punch of truth. Stuff you've been chasing starts popping up fast, like the universe is playing catch-up. Weird coincidences stack up left and right, like life's winking at you. It's as if everything you think gets an instant reply from out there. You're feeling it all at once because this isn't just a little bump. It's you hitting fast forward. You're glowing now, brighter than ever. And it's not quiet or subtle. It's loud. It's bold. And it's yours. People are picking up on it too. And it's not just your imagination playing tricks. You might catch someone staring a beat too long, their eyes locked on you like they're trying to figure you out. Or maybe some random person starts chatting you up out of the blue, acting like you've been buddies forever when you've never met. Your vibe's pulling them in like a tractor beam. They don't even know why they're drawn, but you've got the secret. You're different now. You're not just stronger. You're a magnet, radiating something they can't ignore. And it's not just the living, breathing folks around you tuning in. There's more out there catching the signal. Call it guides, spirits, or whatever name fits your view. Something beyond the everyday is clocking you hard. You've hit a new wavelength, a fresh channel, and now you're blinking on their radar like a beacon. Don't let that spook you or send you running for cover. They're not creeping because you're weak or exposed. They're watching because you've climbed up to their turf, stepped into their line of sight. And when they lock eyes on you like that, they might just lean in and whisper something. Are you ready for that kind of chat? Ready or not, the conversation's already kicking off, and it's coming your way fast. What you say today could turn solid and real by tomorrow, like scary fast. This 639 thing isn't just a cool buzz in the air. It's a straight-up bridge linking your brain, your heart, and the world that shows up around you. Your words, their power moves now. Little spells you're casting without even knowing it. Your thoughts, their blueprints, sketching out what's next. Your feelings, the fuel that makes it all go boom. But here's the deal. It's got to be real, deep down real. Weak, half-baked wishes won't cut through the noise. If you want something to happen, you've got to picture it crystal clear. Feel it in your bones like it's already yours. Believe it's locked in tight. Say it out loud, so the air hears it. Scribble it on paper, so it's set. See it play out like a movie you've already watched. This doorway's got the juice to turn dreams into facts, but only if you grab it with both hands. It's not hanging out forever. It's a limited time deal, so use it or watch it slip away. And when you do, heads up, new faces will start popping into your life, and they're not just random extras in your story. They're tied to you somehow, like they've been waiting in the wings for this exact moment to step on stage. Old ties might start fraying. Talks with some people just won't land like they used to, and that's okay. New energy's rolling in, and it's bringing a fresh crowd with it. Those old connections might fade out slow. Conversations with folks you used to click will start feeling off, like you're speaking different languages now. That's not a loss. It's just the old making room for the new, and it's supposed to happen. The people stepping into your life from here on, they're here on purpose, carrying something you need. A hint, a shove, a piece of your next step. That stranger who feels like you've known them forever. That out of nowhere hey from someone new. It's all part of a plan, written in the stars, or whatever you want to call it. You're not stuck in the same old rerun anymore. The loop's broken, and you're on a new track. The universe is shuffling the deck, swapping out who's around you, lining up the right crew for where you're headed next. If someone new crosses your path today, don't just shrug it off and keep moving. Pay attention. They might be the one you've been waiting for without even knowing it. The missing link to whatever's coming around the bend. They're not accidents. They're pieces of a puzzle you're just starting to see. This 639 doorway isn't just flipping switches in you. It's shaking up the world around you too, whether you see it yet or not. Think about the little stuff today. A bird lands closer than usual. The wind picks up right when you step outside. Or your phone glitches at the exact moment you think of someone. Those aren't just quirks. They're the edges of this energy brushing up against the physical, bending what's normal into something else. It's like the universe is flexing, stretching its muscles to show you it's alive and listening. You might laugh it off as coincidence at first, but the more you notice, the harder it gets to ignore. This isn't random chaos, it's a pattern, a rhythm syncing up with you step by step. Look closer. The numbers on a clock might catch your eye. 639. Or a receipt total hits you with that same vibe. It's not in your head. It's out there, weaving through the day, leaving breadcrumbs for you to follow. The question is, will you pick them up and see where they lead? Keep your eyes peeled, because the signs are piling up fast, and they're pointing somewhere big. Your past is getting a remix today too. Not the whole thing, but the pieces that still tug at you. Old memories might pop up out of nowhere, sharp and loud, like someone hit play on a tape you forgot you owned. Maybe it's a face you haven't thought of in years, a song that stings when it plays, or a moment you buried deep because it hurt too much. That's not your brain being mean. It's the 639 wave digging through your baggage, pulling stuff up to the surface for a reason. It's not here to haunt you. It's here to heal you, to flip the script on what those moments mean. You might feel a pang at first, but then it shifts. Suddenly, that old ache feels lighter, like it's letting go of you instead of the other way around. This energy's got a knack for turning scars into strength, but you've got to face it head on. Don't shove it back down or run from it. Sit with it, let it talk. What you thought was done might just be the key to what's next. And today's the day it gets unlocked. Time's acting funny under this portal, and you might have already felt it without clocking why. Ever notice how the hours drag 1 minute, then fly the next, like the clock's playing tricks on you? That's not just you being restless. It's this energy warping how time flows around you. Some moments stretch out long and slow, giving you space to think, to feel, to catch what's slipping through the cracks. Others zip by so fast you blink and miss them, like the universe is rushing you toward something it wants you to see. It's almost like time's bending to match your rhythm, slowing down when you need a breather, speeding up when you're ready to leap. Check your watch today. You might catch it jumping ahead or lagging behind what you expect. That's the 639 flexing again, tweaking the rules so you're right where you're supposed to be. Don't fight it, roll with it. Whatever's coming, it's on its own schedule, and it's pulling you along for the ride. There's a flip side to all this light, though. Shadows are moving too, and you need to know it. This portal's not just waking up the good stuff. It's stirring what's been hiding in the corners. The junk you've ignored or pretended wasn't there. Maybe it's a doubt you've buried, a fear you've dodged, or a habit you know isn't you anymore, but still cling to. Today, that stuff's getting loud, pushing up into view whether you like it or not. It's not here to wreck you. It's here to free you. But it won't feel fun at first. You might snap at someone for no reason, feel a wave of unease you can't pin down, or trip over a choice you've been ducking. That's the energy doing a clean sweep, dragging the mess out, so you can deal with it once and for all. Face it, name it, let it go. Because if you don't, it'll stick around and drag you back. This is your shot to ditch what's dead weight, but you've got to be brave enough to look it in the eye first. Animals might act strange around you today too. They're picking up what you're putting out. Your dog might stare at you longer than usual, like it's trying to tell you something with those big eyes. A cat could dart past you then freeze, whipping its head back like it saw something move behind you. Even the birds outside might get quiet when you walk by, or a squirrel might scamper closer instead of bolting like it normally would. They're not just being weird. They're tuned into the 639 frequency bouncing off you, sensing the shift in your field. Animals don't overthink like we do. They just feel it raw and react. You're a walking signal now, and they're catching the static loud and clear. Don't brush it off as nothing. Watch them. See what they do. They might tip you off to something you're missing, a little nudge from nature saying, "Hey, pay attention." It's another layer of this thing unfolding, and it's wild how far it reaches. The air feels different today too, like it's thicker, heavier, charged with something you can almost taste. Step outside and take a deep breath. You might notice it's not just crisp or cold or warm. It's got a weight to it, a buzz that hums against your skin. It's not the weather playing games. It's this portal pumping energy into everything, even the space you move through. You might feel it more indoors too. A room you know like the back of your hand might seem off, like the walls are leaning in or the lights hitting wrong. It's subtle, but it's there, tweaking how reality sits around you. Some say it's the veil thinning, that line between what's solid and what's beyond getting fuzzy for a minute. Others just call it a vibe shift, a ripple you can feel but not grab. Either way, it's real, and it's wrapping around you tight. Lean into it. Let it sink in. Let it show you what's humming beneath the surface. This isn't every day. It's today, and it's alive. I mentioned earlier your dreams tonight could be more than just dreams, and now it's time to dig in deep. When you crash out after a day like this, it's not just your body clocking off for a recharge. It's way bigger. It's a dive into something else, a trip where your mind doesn't just wander aimlessly. It steps into a space where time gets all wobbly, bending and blending past, future, and maybe even sideways realities you can't pin down. You might see stuff that feels too sharp, too real to brush off as fake. Colors popping like they're painted in neon, flying free like gravity forgot you. Or chats with strangers who feel like old friends. Those aren't just random brain stories spinning out of control. They're signals, future flashes sneaking in, Answers to questions you've been hauling around forever, dropping in loud and clear. Tonight, sleep's not just rest. It's a meeting room and a classroom mashed together, a place where you're getting briefed on what's next. You might not remember every frame when you wake up, but the big hits stick. A word that won't leave you, a face you swear you know, a feeling that hangs heavy all day. If you bolt awake, heart thumping like a drum, grab a pen and jot it down fast. It's not nonsense or your imagination running wild. It's a map, a guide, and it's yours if you listen. When you open your eyes tomorrow, that's when the real ride kicks off. The universe is shouting so loud, you can barely hear yourself think. But the trick is, you'll only catch it if you shut everything else down. Some of you feel wired today. Every nerve's buzzing, your thoughts are razor sharp, and the world looks brighter than it should. Others feel the total opposite. A pull to step back, duck out. Turn the volume on life way down to a whisper. That's not you hiding from a mess. It's you locking into something deeper, something that needs space to breathe. Your whole self is soaking up more than it's built for right now. Energy, info, signals flying at you from every angle. It's like standing in a packed room where everyone's yelling over each other. Too much noise, and you can't pick out a single voice. Quiet's what sorts it out. Lets it all settle into place. If sounds great on you today, music's too loud, chatter's too much, or you lose focus mid-sentence, that's your insides tuning into something bigger than the everyday grind. Don't push back against it or try to power through. Sit still, take a breath, let the silence wash over you like a reset. In that calm, the fog lifts. Stuff you didn't get starts clicking, and you'll know things you didn't study. That's the magic brewing right under your skin, and it's waiting for you to let it in. Once this wave rolls through, nothing's staying the same, not even close. Life feels lighter, thinner, like you're peeking through cracks in the walls you never saw before. Stuff you used to grit your teeth and bear, you're done with it. No more playing nice with things that drag you down. Old habits, old roles you've been stuck in, they don't fit anymore, like a shirt you've outgrown. Over the next 6 days, things will speed up and surprise you left and right. Chances you thought were dead and gone might nudge back into view, creaking open just enough to let some light spill through. People you need, whether you know it or not, will show up out of nowhere, hauling help, hard truths, or endings you didn't see coming but secretly needed. It won't all be smooth or cozy. Some of it'll sting. Some will rattle what you thought was rock solid. You'll see who's real and who's been faking. Watch stuff you leaned on crumble. And yeah, it might throw you for a loop. But in the end, it'll add up, like puzzle pieces snapping together. The universe is clearing the deck, tossing out what's old and done to make space for what's actually yours. This doorway didn't just swing open. It cracked you open, split you wide to let the new rush in. What's coming is bigger than you've dreamed, but you've got to take the step and claim it. Thanks for sticking with me all the way to the end. I know it's a lot to take in. If this hit you right, if it sparked something, hit that subscribe button. I'd really appreciate the support, and it keeps us connected for more. Drop your thoughts down below. Tell me what you're feeling. What's shifting for you? Anything that's bubbling up after this. Share it with someone if it feels right. Spread the word so others can jump in too. I'll be back with more soon, peeling back layers and digging into whatever's next. Until then, take care of yourself, rest up, stay sharp, and keep your eyes open for what's coming. Catch you on the flip side, and stick around. There's plenty more where this came from.